She cried, apologized a million times, and didn't try to blame me at all. She did try to minimize it though, and wouldn't acknowledge the word cheating at first. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go with them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, gonna go over a story titled, I just found messages on my wife's phone, but not sure she's cheating. And a big shout out to Chris for sending me this story. And guys, this story is all about a guy. This is a multi-part story, but all in the same video here. About a guy, he's 32, been married I think for 6 years, has a kid together with his wife, and lo and behold, discovered on her phone that she's up to no good. Up to no good, talking to different dudes on Reddit. And as you can imagine, after some digging, found some pretty unpleasant things. And of course, she's denying everything, and she's so sorry, and the waterworks and all that. But then you find, of course, there's more to it. And this guy is now on the warpath and going forward with the divorce, which he should. And I don't want to say too much more. I'll let you guys discover as I tell the story. But long story short, this story is a perfect example why, in my opinion, and the opinion of many, that if you're remarried, that's it for the social media. I get it, social media like Instagram or Facebook where you're connecting with just family. But beyond that, it's just not a good idea. And these women cannot resist the attention and validation they get from dudes all over the world. And in this situation, it's Reddit. And you're going to see her whine and complain about wanting attention and validation. It is like a drug to the gals. They're like plants. They can't... Attention and validation to women is like plants need sunlight and water. They can't function without it. And it doesn't make a difference what age it is. And you have to always pay attention to red flags and do the digging. And you see no good, you got to part ways. Because guess what? The odds are you're not getting the whole story and it will just continue. Once a cheater, always a cheater. So, jumping into it, this guy says here, I don't even know where to start. I came home from work early because I felt like vomiting all day after finding out this morning, and I couldn't be around any people anymore. My wife and I both use Reddit, and usually it's no harm. Things like Am I the A-hole, etc., and we often show each other or read off funny things that we find. Last night we were sitting on the couch, and I'm playing a game, and I see she's on Reddit, but typing something and smiling. I'm like, babe, what are you posting? And she shows me a random post that's not her, but then goes to the bathroom, saying she has a stomach issue after a couple minutes with her phone, and stays in there for a while. Oh, how interesting. It's pretty clear she's typing and not wanting me to see, but I'm trying not to think too much of it. We trust each other, and I don't want to invade her privacy. Unfortunately, you have to. That's what it's come to nowadays. The temptation's too strong for these gals, and there's too many of them. She doesn't come back to the couch and says she's going to bed. This is very early for her. And I join her later and see she's still occasionally looking at her phone, but I'm exhausted and pass out. So where there's smoke, there's fire. The phone says everything. She's hiding her phone, going off to the bathroom for a long period of time, longer than it takes to go to the bathroom and take a dump. And she's usually typing away, talking to somebody. She doesn't want you to see this. When I wake up today, I have the strangest feeling inside me. Like I know something is horribly wrong and it has to do with the last night. I shouldn't have done this when I had this presentation at work today, but I cannot help it. When she's in the shower, I snoop on her phone. You know how many stories I've done about guys snooping on the phone when their wife's in the shower or the bathtub or something like that? I don't have much time, but I look on her Reddit account. It turns out she has a couple throwaway accounts where she's all sexting up with guys. Remember, this is Miss, I have to go to the bathroom, my stomach hurts, and I'm going to bed early. There you go. I'm amongst throwing up at this point. It's so disgusting. I see sausage pictures, her boobs, explicit fantasies, etc., etc. We're done. Keep calm. Take those pictures, forward them to your phone, get all the evidence you can before she gets out of the shower, but go talk to a lawyer. Act like everything's cool, as best possible. Talk to a lawyer. See, aside from the fact that you can't trust her and she's betraying you, she's disrespecting you. And it's just like, seriously, what the fuck? Is this real? I don't think she knows these people judging by the age of the messages. I never expected this from the mother of my kids in a million years. In some way, this feels worse than if she would have been sexting with a friend or a coworker. How many guys say that they think they're in the greatest marriage, they couldn't believe that their darling, sweetheart wife would ever do this? And yet, until it happens. Like, how does she get off on people that she doesn't even know? Am I that shitty of a husband where she needs attention on this low level? No, dude, you're no doubt a very good husband. But your attention and validation isn't good enough for her. She needs it elsewhere. And since pretty much it's the norm, everybody's on social media and posting pictures of themselves and getting attention, she's just joining in with the crowd, like the rest of the sheep. It's not like we don't have an active SCX life. It's not like we're not kinky and engaging in things that give her pleasure. I keep thinking this is all a dream. More like this is your nightmare. I didn't have time to snoop, or much time to snoop, but I took pictures of some of the worst texts with my phone. I went into her text and email, but didn't see anything. I didn't have much time to look through because she was done with the shower. I was numb and didn't confront her. I basically just left for work and yelled, I was late, and that's it. Whereas we would usually get our kids ready for school together and say a proper goodbye. Now, I've been sitting at home alone for the past hour not knowing what to do. I know the smart thing is to wait to snoop more before I confront her, but I don't think I had the patience for it. I'm also not even sure what to do about this. Is this actually cheating for real? You're darn right it's cheating for real, and even if what you've seen isn't physical cheating, I guarantee there's more going on here than she's letting on or has been revealed. Is there any hope that this meant nothing to her and she can stop? No. He goes, fuck, I don't even know if I would have the strength to give her a leave if she can't. What are the chances that random sex are it and she hasn't even met up with anyone in person? I'm so disgusted right now. Dude, I know you don't want to break up your family. I know you want to believe that your perfect sweetheart of a girl, whatever, cheat on you physically, but this is cheating. End of story. And not to mention major disrespect. But now we're going to get on to his update here when he confronts her. And her reaction, all that, and it's not going to surprise anybody here. He says, wow, the last 24 hours have been the hardest of my life. I gave a quick update in comments already, but basically I waited a day so I could snoop more, but I didn't find anything more than a couple of explicit text threads. Then yesterday, after kids in bed, I decided to confront her. I started by saying, are you doing anything inappropriate you'd like to tell me about? And maybe it was my body language or she realized something was wrong with me, but she immediately broke down and admitted to it. That's interesting. A lot of times they don't, in spite of the body language, tone of voice. They're more like, what do you mean? It was a combination of stumbling. Oh, excuse me. She had done it once before for a couple days a few months ago. It was a combination of stumbling into boredom and wanting validation. There you go. And what's this part that he says she'd done it once before for a couple days, a few months ago? Like, this isn't the first time? She wanted validation. What a type about women and attention and validation. She has had issues with her body for a while and wanted some reassurance that she was still attractive, saying, I have it too, saying it so she couldn't believe me when I gave her compliments. Guys, this is why you don't get involved with women that are deeply insecure. Now, all women are insecure in some way, but in this situation here, because they constantly need that attention and validation from other men. In some cases from women too. And no matter how good you are to her and how much you show her you care and show her you're attracted to her and communicate that, it's never enough. And you can't be with someone like this, let alone marry them, because they're going to do this kind of bullshit. The temptation is just too strong. Being able to get 24/7 attention at your fingertips from dudes all over the world. She claims that she was turned on by the attention, but that she didn't actually get off and only was pretending to. She had no clue what these men actually look like, besides their sausages, obviously, so she said she couldn't actually get into it and didn't even want to take it that far. She compared it to if she had a personal chat with someone on OnlyFans, except she wasn't even pleasuring herself. Who the fuck cares? You're still dishonoring me and the children, okay? No, I don't want to hear your fucking bullshit excuses. If he was doing this and talking to other women and sending pictures of his you-know-what to other women, I guarantee you she would see it as cheating. So bullshit. She cried, apologized a million times, and didn't try to blame me at all. She did try to minimize it, though, and wouldn't acknowledge the word cheating at first. Well, of course not. She's not going to make it out to be like she's doing that. Please. I planned to only engage for about 30 minutes, so I set a silent alarm on my phone, and then when it went off, I literally dropped it in the middle of the conversation and left for the hotel. That was the hardest thing I'd ever done, as she was begging me not to leave. Yeah, because you scared the shit out of her. She's thinking you're going to divorce her. And indeed, if she's got self-esteem, body image issues, and she's being abandoned, I guarantee that's making her nuts. But you know what? He has every right to live. Or I have a better idea. Bitch, you leave. I'll stay here with the kid or kids, and you can go someplace else. I took some Benadryl, but still took a while to fall asleep by myself after silencing my phone and putting it in a drawer so I wasn't tempted. I woke up several times but resisted the urge to check it. But first thing in the morning, I couldn't help it. Obviously, she blew up my phone with texts, calls, etc., saying what you'd expect. She also sent me a long email where she admitted that it was cheating and she deserves divorce and anything else I chose. But she's willing to do anything to get another chance to gain my trust back. So now she admits it was cheating and I deserve a divorce. She's saying that strongly hoping and believing that he wouldn't actually go through with it. I actually went home by 7 p.m. because of my kids. Okay, he has multiple kids. She didn't actually threaten to, but in the state she was in, I was afraid she'd hurt herself and then they'd be there alone. We don't have any family close by. Of course, I was afraid for her too, but mostly my heart was racing because of the kids. So this guy cannot win. No, guys can't win because they're too harsh. They're afraid that the wife will do something drastic, and then their kids may be caught up in the middle of it. I mean, or they just have to handle it in a different way, and she kind of gets a pass. It's just ridiculous. She hadn't slept all night, and I told her to go to sleep and I'd watch the kids, but she took a shower only and drank coffee to help me. We talked in little bursts throughout the day while they were watching TV. She was crying on and off. I'd be like, shut the hell up. Turn off the waterworks. I don't want to fucking hear it. She finally is taking a nap now since she's been up all day, and I think I've given her some indication that I'm not planning on walking away from the marriage immediately, even though I haven't said I forgive her or anything close to that. At the very least, let her be in a state of uncertainty. She deserves that. And quite frankly, she'll be attracted to that. Dude, lawyer, end of story. I told her basically I haven't decided, but I don't know how I can trust her again. She says she understands and she'd feel close to the same if she were me. She deleted Reddit and also says I have full access to her phone upon request. Yeah, that's nice to say now that you had a chance to wipe your phone and all evidence of things. She says I can track her location and do whatever I want for as long as it takes, or maybe even forever. She admitted that she thought I'd never find out because she was going to end these chats soon enough. Yeah, sure. You're just going to cut off the attention and validation that you just love so much. Sure, tell me another one. But she also admitted she may have done it again in the future if she hadn't gotten caught because in her mind, she was rationalizing it as harmless validation and only pretending to be into it as much as she was. What a load of crap. Harmless validation. You're getting pictures of other dudes' sausages. You're sending nude pictures of yourself. You're sexting with them. That's not harmless validation. That's grounds for divorce immediately. She says she understands that it's not harmless and it has hurt me permanently. She claims that she has never met up with anyone. Okay, let's remember her saying that. I asked her whether she'd get bored and take it to the next level, and she says she couldn't imagine herself ever doing that. But she also admits she fell into it even after taking it this far. We're obviously getting marriage counseling. She also said that she will start therapy again. Had done it once in the past. Gee, I wonder why. To figure out why she needs so much validation and how she can overcome the desire. Here's why. She was born with a vagina. That's why. That's why she needs the attention and validation. And it's not an excuse for her actions, but it's just how it is. Women take attention and validation, the craving for it, to a whole nother level. And I don't care what any of them say. They all love it. I told her we need to sleep separately, and she volunteered to stay on the air mattress in our daughter's room. Well, good. I cried too for the first time since this began during one of the conversations this afternoon. Dude, don't let her see you cry. If you're going to cry, fine, that's okay. Do it not in front of her or the kids. I hadn't been able to this whole time. I feel like she broke my heart, but I also feel her sorrow. I do know of her intense need for validation. Now, why the hell did you marry her? You think you're going to fix her? She had a rough childhood where she was abused in different ways by both parents and then was with an abusive boyfriend who negged her for years before we met. You married a gal who has got needs attention and validation issues, who had a background like that and had that boyfriend smack. Should have smacked him earlier. No, that is not the type you get involved with. You don't white knight for them because the attention and validation is never going to be enough for them. Ever. Right here. They got to have it all the time. And of course, she was with the guy that was the bad boyfriend. Of course, they all say their exes are abusive. But okay, the bad boyfriend. So you're the nice cleanup guy. Come on. This is what happens, gentlemen. She's a normal weight right now, but thinks she's morbidly obese. She thinks she brainwashed me, her words, somehow to get me to stay with her. I truly don't see her as being a manipulative person. Smack! Really? You don't think she's manipulative? Come on here. She told me she loves me more than anything in the world, and she hates that she hurt me. Said this like 1,000 times. She doesn't give a shit. She just got caught, and she's afraid you're going to dump her. I'm so exhausted. I don't know why I'm hoping, but I just want to not feel this pain. At the very least, I think I'll go ahead with the counseling to see how this can be salvaged. The text and images still disgust me, but I feel sad more than anger. Yeah, you're hurt, because this is your wife, the mother of your kids, someone who you thought had your back, and then you discover this. It's all right to be hurt by this whole thing, and I get that he doesn't want a divorce, because aside from the whole mess that he's going to go through, hurting the kids, but you can't be with someone like this. It doesn't end well. And I might add, overwhelmingly, there's usually more going on here, and we're about to find out there is more going on here. It says, thank you everyone for reading this and the supports and comments. I read them multiple times, and a lot of advice was spot on and helped me get this far. I may update later in another post, but I might also take a break from my phone for a few days. Now, we're on to his final update in his story here, and you're going to see what else is going on. He says, in brief, all the other stuff before was the tip of the iceberg. I had a gut feeling and found some sex with random Reddit men on my wife's phone. She confessed and seemingly gave me full transparency going forward, saying that she only wanted validation. Okay, that was a little update. She says she's never met up with any person in real life and swore that nothing else happened. It hurt like hell, but I accepted her apologies and decided to try marriage counseling. Since then, I haven't been able to convince myself that that was all. I feel now dumb, but I only since then discovered that you can see recently deleted texts and pictures, which I didn't check before in the snooping. So last night, I stayed awake thinking about it once again. I looked into my wife's phone one last time in the recently deleted text. Well, I'm sure a lot of you will berate me for being so naive. I found sex with her effing coworker. Someone I've hung out with several times, who's been to our house with his wife and kid. I found messages indicating that they have met up in the past for SCX at his house while his wife is working and the kid is at school. But she most recently told him that they'll have to take a break for a bit because apparently she got caught sexting. I found a couple of sexy pictures my wife sent him of her body. I can't get his words out of my head, saying that he can't wait to lick her again. You get me so hard, I'm going to come all over your tits next time. There you go. So it isn't just the dudes online, it's also her coworker she's having an affair with, a married coworker. Goodbye, it's over, there's no going back here. This is why I say you can't just take things at face value. A lot of times when the gals get caught, you get the bare minimum. There's more going on. I'm absolutely horrified, and I am done. She played me for a fool, swearing up and down that she never physically stepped out. I haven't told her I know yet. My heart is breaking for her kids, who will now grow up in a broken home. I feel bad for those kids, I really do. And sometimes kids will think it's their fault. I truly thought we had the most perfect life a couple weeks ago. I feel like I'm going to break, but I decided I'm not going to tell her until I meet with some lawyers this week. Good, bro. Keep it calm. She'll obviously know that things aren't right with you, but she won't know that you know this. Talk to your lawyers, find out all options. I already took pictures of the evidence, but I'm in a no-fault divorce state, so I don't know if it's worth anything. I will follow advice on what to do. I'm also going to call my brother and see if he can come into town and stay with me for a few days when the shit hits the fan. I'm going to try to get her to leave the house and move out, but not sure how. I also want to confront the bastard who's effing my wife at their work or in front of his wife. But I won't give in to my revenge fantasies just yet. I don't know how I'm going to get through all this. And that is the end of his story, and I'm going to offer some advice. Yeah, go to the lawyers. Find out your options, good, bad, or ugly. It's a no-fault divorce state, so that's a big issue here. And he's got kids. He's been with her, I think 6 years or something. But he can't be with her. End of story here. And frankly, when he serves with the divorce papers, I would arrange it that the same exact moment that she's being served by the divorce attorneys, the guy who's boning his wife, that guy's wife, gets a whole packet of information of all the evidence this guy's gathered about his wife and that guy there and her lover. Make sure that she finds this out the same exact moment, because that guy can't get away with it. And it also would go to her employer and make it clear this stuff is going on and amongst coworkers. And I'm sure they can find information that happened while at work and see if they can get them fired. Although if she does get fired, that could make him have to pay more in alimony. So maybe hold off on that till later. But something's got to be done here. But he cannot be married to her. It's over with. And yeah, it's best that she would leave the house and he'd be there with the kids, because the kids shouldn't have to go through that. But it's a shame. But so it goes to shame, guys. These gals that, if you're in a relationship with a girl, your relationship, guys, and you know she has a craving for attention and validation, bad childhood, bad self-body image, that type of thing, it's not going to stop. Okay? I don't care how good you are to her, how much you tell her, how much you show her. It's never enough. And that's why, as a rule, no social media. But you too, as a guy, would have to stick by that rule. And they say you're controlling or insecure, then say no, then we're not going to work. Those are my terms. No social media, none of that stuff. And you could say even like, okay, it's just for family, but then they often sometimes have a second or third account. So if she needs to be on social media all the time, it tells you everything you need to know. And unfortunately, you also have to dig. You got to dig in this world nowadays to actually look for red flags. It's no longer paying attention to red flags. It's actually looking for them. Because otherwise, this is what you get. And people actually wonder why so many guys aren't interested in marriage anymore. Go figure. Anyhow, I absolutely wish this guy the best. Alright guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And guys, you find a good story like me to share on this channel, definitely email to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I definitely will. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.